All right, guys, that Frisbee throwing motion, or in that case, throwing a box from a dozen golf balls, that can actually really help your golf game. In this video, we're going to talk about how that's going to help you to bow your wrist, to square the club face up early, and even more importantly, to release the club in front through the ball so the golf ball is just getting in the way. You're not going to be hitting at the golf ball. You're just going to be swinging through it, letting that great contact happen. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the Frisbee motion, how is this actually going to help our golf game? It seems a little bit goofy. It seems like there's no way that this is going to be applicable to golf, but in actuality, this is really good. Once you start to feel that motion, you can recreate that in your swing, start releasing that club in front. So if I grab, in your case, I don't have a Frisbee. I haven't thrown Frisbee in years, but we all know that motion. I just grabbed a dozen golf balls that are empty here and did that same Frisbee throwing motion. Well, you'll notice the first thing that happens as you're ready to throw the Frisbee, your wrist starts to come back. That's what's called, what would be wrist flexion of your lead wrist, meaning that my knuckle or my fingers are turning back in toward my body. That would be this angle. And we'll see a lot of pro golfers get into that as they're coming through contact. That wrist is in flexion. And a lot of times what people will confuse that for is they'll think that I just need to hold that all the way on through, to really hold that off and never let that go. Well, if we're throwing a Frisbee, and just like we are in the golf swing, if I go ahead and let that get into flexion, and then when I release the Frisbee, you'll see that my wrist releases and it goes into what's called extension. So my knuckles on the back of my hand going back toward my elbow the other way. So we're doing this motion, the wrist is bowed, and then as we release, that is letting that go, and then eventually it goes farther up in the golf swing where it's bent back the other way, and that wrist really releases. So if we just take that same Frisbee throwing motion that we would in front, and now we think about, okay, I'm going to set up to a golf ball here. I'm going to pretend this is my normal driver setup. And then from here, I'm going to visualize what we call the straight line release in the top speed golf system. So a few feet out in front of the golf ball, I'm imagining that's my release point. Now I'm going to throw this Frisbee. I'm not releasing it at the golf ball though, I'm releasing it out in front. That's going to allow me to release that left wrist. And what's happening there is as I'm coming through contact, my wrist starts to bow. As I square it up, I hit the golf ball, the club continues to release to my straight line release point, and as I come on through from there, then this wrist can go ahead and cup the opposite direction. So that releasing of the wrist actually allows us to get club head speed. A lot of times people try to hold on tight, and what ends up happening is we end up flipping the club because we're so tight, and we end up hitting at the golf ball rather than releasing, just like that Frisbee throw through the golf ball. So I'm going to throw some slow motion videos here at the end of this. You'll notice that my left wrist is a little bowed, and then as it goes through contact, it actually releases then. That's going to get you some good club head speed. So let's try a few drills out here, right from the comfort of your living room, then we'll take them out to the golf course. But I want you to stand up right now, grab a golf club. If you don't have a golf club, then just kind of do the same motions pretending that you do. So I'm going to set up here, and as I come down, right as my hands are about kind of thigh high in the downswing, you notice how this wrist is not cupped this way. It's not in what's called extension. It would be flexion. This is the getting ready to release the Frisbee mode. Now as I'm coming down even farther, now my back of my left wrist squares up to the ball, and then as it comes on through, it's going to release to flat. So this first move, I want to make sure my wrist is flat or even a little bit bowed. As I release to the second piece, now my wrist is going to be dead flat, and I've kind of let go of that a little bit. I've let that club head go ahead and release. That shaft kicking forward is what allows you to get speed in the golf swing. So I'm going to do about 20 reps, pausing here, and then pausing, feeling like that releases. Same thing with the right wrist. You'll notice from here, the right wrist is really bent back. Big angle, big sharp angle there. And then as I release that, now the right wrist is completely released out in front. 20 or 30 reps, pause in those positions. Then we're going to do 20 or 30 more reps, just practice swings, getting that same feel in our golf swing. We're not holding this angle, we're going ahead and letting that angle go in front of the golf ball. So 20 or 30 more reps doing that. Once you feel comfortable with that, let's go ahead and take that out to the golf course, to the driving range, and let's make some swings, recreating that same feel in our actual golf swing. So best of luck, guys. Let that thing go. If we're holding on, we're going to kill our distance. We got to let that Frisbee go to get some great club head speed. Best of luck, work those drills. See you guys soon. I hope y'all really enjoyed this video on getting that Frisbee to release. Now this is something we call the straight line release in the Top Speed Golf system. I got you started with that today, but if we really want to master that, I got a great bonus video. I'm going to play a preview for that here in a second, and then you click the iCard, you're going to get instant access to that, plus 5 videos from the Top Speed Golf system. We really master that release, and man, you're going to get some more speed, you're going to be more consistent, golf's going to be a lot more fun. I'll see you guys in the release video. A common misconception I see is that we want to create lag and we just want to hold that lag all the way on through contact and get as much lag as we can coming through contact, and that's simply not true. In the release section, we're going to talk about how to turn that lag into energy, how to turn that into speed so that you can hit it very far and do it, like we mentioned, without hardly any effort at all. And as we're coming through contact, we're going to fully release this angle as we're about 45 past contact. So if I draw, a 45-degree angle, I should be looking at both arms, nice and straight, the club splitting those arms, so that by releasing the club, by getting this angle to release as we're coming through contact, that's what's going to create the speed. Our hands are moving a very short distance, our club is moving a very long distance through contact, and it creates that whip-like effect.
Very different swings hitting the exact same position. So first let's take a look at Dustin Johnson releasing the club 45 past, and the reason we're going to see such different swings producing similar positions is that this is the real physics of how this has to happen. Here we're looking at Sergio Garcia. Again, we're going to see tons of